working my fastest, but let's go to the group discussion where we're talking about some of the new announcements. And then you know what? Maybe I'll even section this off into multiple smaller videos. Cha-ching that algorithm.
Multiple.
So hey everyone, if you're watching this video now, if I cut it into a smaller version, I'm Jake from the Brave and the Boys, and with me are two of my dear friends.
I'm Chris from Marvel Alliance.
Oh, okay. We messed that up.
Cut. Try it again.
Okay, I'm Jake from the Brave and the Boys, and with me are two of my friends.
I'm Chris from Marvel Alliance.
And I'm Tyler from the Illuminati YouTube channel.
Heck yeah, and we're going to talk about some of the new Penguin solicits that popped up, which most of these are already available on Organic Price Books for pre-order, because I'm a good little egg. Spider-Man Triangle Era Omnibus Volume 2, and the words of Day, I'm discouraged about collecting this now. So how do we feel about this?
The thing was that I see Richard in the chat saying, it'll make Death and Return obsolete. They're not going to collect some of the like one or two issues probably from it. Probably Green Lantern's not going to be in it at that point. It's anything that's not going to be technically the Triangle years. So I'm still getting this because there are orphaned issues that I don't have that I would like, and they have me for that. So shame on me. I'm okay. There are a lot worse habits to spend money on.
Oh my gosh, I just looked over it, and my wife and Jordan and his girlfriend are in a text thread with like 60 messages trying to decide what we're going to eat later today. No one's like just stepping up and being the leader. Shouts out to My Southern Trucker. I pre-ordered that Tom King run so quick. And remember, if you do want to pre-order, you can save $2 with code Braveboys or 5% on 4 more books, or you can use Illuminati's code or Chris's code. We're all friends here. We all love each other. I love when I see someone do one order with one person's code and then their next order is another person's code. You got to spread the love, it's all free love here. So yeah, I want to get every Superman Omni, but I also feel weird, like if I don't need it, but
yeah, I'm probably double dipping, but I just love Superman. He's my favorite DC character, so I got to do it.
Yeah. Moving on from that, JLA Earth 2 Deluxe Edition. I've never read this, but Grant Morrison and Quietly together, I feel like I love all their work together.
Yeah.
So I'm hooked. And you got you have the answer with ears on the cover, so you can't go wrong there. Wait, that joke's not going to play if someone's watching the shortened version of this, but oh well, who cares? Moving. That's a little Easter egg for Eagle Eye. Chris, is this good? I feel like you'd be the one to have read this.
Yeah, I've read it. I have it. I didn't get the Morrison Omni for JLA because I had the deluxe editions of Morrison's run, which I think is a little more complete than the Omni. But this was included in one of the volumes of it, so it's good story, bringing in the characters of Earth 2, which is the Crime Syndicate, the mirror version of the JLA.
Yeah.
If I have the JLA Omnibus, do I still need this?
No, no, you don't.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's in it.
Then I am canceling my pre-order. Be right back.
Yeah. I love this story. I think this is, to me at least, is the peak of the JLA Omnibus. At least I love this story. It's so awesome. And Frank Quitely, I'm a huge fan of his. I know he's very divisive, but I think this is some incredible work and paneling and everything like that from him as a creator.
We got Taylor saying, get rid of your Death of Omnibus and get Triangle Years, and Captain Underpants wanting to know if you're getting rid of your Death of Superman.
I am not. Sorry.
Yeah, me either, bro. You can have 2 books. You're allowed. There's no rule that says you have to choose one or the other.
That's probably my favorite character-centric event of all time. And it was my first collected edition I ever read was a trade paperback of Death and Return. So I can't ever touch that on me.
Is it going to be your first Absolute edition? Imagine the fold-out pages in Absolute.
I mean, my Omni has the fold-out pages too. So I mean, I'm not against it, but I don't know. I wanted to do all Superman absolutes if I was going to do absolutes, but now I feel like he's getting like 57 of them when he only had like 3 at the time. So now I'm kind of retracting my statement.
And I'm gonna send a picture of this to OmniDog. I've been watching Jess so much. I'm not really used to hosts being caught up with the chat. I didn't realize it was possible. I think it's because like I don't know. I try to keep some momentum going because we don't have 4 hours to stream. Like, I saw him do a stream last week where he's just making coffee on the stream. Like,
Gotta
Yeah.
give the people what they want.
He takes you on a leisurely stroll and it's like he's hypnotic, We try to keep a little bit of momentum on here.
And doesn't he typically have Psycho Cleveland in there? So it's just like 47 comments just from him.
And it's all his like sports betting.
Yeah.
This one I'm stoked for because on my Jeff Johns video I did not too long ago, everyone was like, "You got to do Hawkman. I'm like, it's been out of print the entire time I've been collecting stuff. And I heard that the first printing had a bad binding issues or a bad spine or something. So I never really went out for the out of print issues.
Yeah. That was all DC omnibuses back then. All of them sucked.
I would say he wants to know what a good Hawk Tua run is, or Hawk Girl run. Sorry. She was in Scott Snyder's Justice League, right? I feel like that's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which is getting an Omni. So you know what? I gotta sell my deluxe editions. We'll talk. And honestly, it was so funny because like Bat Kato was just telling me, he's like, they're gonna reprint Hawkman with Hawk Girl being in the Superman movie, and I'm like, dude, that's not the character in the movie though. Why would they reprint Hawkman? And like 2 days later, they announced this. So Bat Kato got to hit me with an "I told you so."
That's okay.
Yeah, I think we're all stoked that this is getting reprinted. Have any of you guys read this before or own it?
I have. I've read it. I won't be picking
not.
it up, but it's a good story.
Chris, we're supposed to sell the books. Like, you got to be like, this
I
book's amazing.
I didn't say don't buy it. I said I enjoyed it. I'm not a Hawkman collector, but I thought, typical Jeff Johns does a good story.
Where's it rank as far as like a hierarchy of Jeff Johns works? Like, where are we ranking it?
I'd say high mid tier.
Would you say top 10 or top 20?
I'd say top 20. That's my opinion.
Okay. Moving on. This is something we don't often see. We don't often see Flash Volume 2s. So
I see a few
just recently got one.
Collection.
Yes, we did.
In my collection. I see 2 different ones actually in my collection.
I'm going to be unbelievably triggered if they make this match with all the other Flash omnibuses that have come out recently, but it doesn't match with Volume 1. Could you imagine them doing that?
That'd be great. Richard, I would say Hawkman is one of the most confusing. I'd say the most confusing is Donna Troy.
And this, for me, was my first Flash run in single issues. So I think I have all boxes at my parents' house of all the single issues, minus the crossovers with Batman, because I sold those when I sold my Tom King Batman run. But yeah, no, I'm excited for this. I don't think it was, I haven't read enough Flash to call it groundbreaking, but for me, it was fun as a new reader. So
yeah.
And it felt accessible. I never felt lost.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for critically acclaimed, I think Mark Waid and Jeff Johns will always take that cake. But it was fun for what it was. I don't think it's not going to be in the top 3 or top 5, in my opinion, at least.
Look, if I'm making a video of every DC character member of the Justice League's best run, I am going to include it because it's the only Flash run that I've read. But you know what? It won't always be the only Flash. I gotta read more
change
Flash.
that.
You got plenty of time. You got a long life ahead of you of reading Flash.
Should I start with William Mesner Loeb?
That's a good place to start. You can just read all the way through.
Okay.
Chronologically, yeah, but I think Mark Waid and Jeff Johns are like the important ones to get under your belt.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we got this one. This is the bane of my existence. This is the only Batman omnibus I don't own. Modern.
I do.
Like, we're not. maybe post crisis or whatever.
This is just like an anthology, right?
Yeah, it's like different anthologies of like do I have the no I don't have the thing. Yeah, it's black and white and they're like it's an anthology.
Yeah, there were like single issues in the sense of like different, your best writers, best artists would team up and give a story. Like there was one with Bruce Timm. There was stories and Jim Lee and there it's a really cool just idea of you just like little vignettes. So
it kind of reminds me of Superman Red and Blue.
Yes, very much. And that's like you got this was kind of the beginning. They were ahead of their time in the sense of, but they came out with 4 different soft covers for this trades.
Wow. So definitely collected
and a box set.
Compendium, Omnibus box set, trades.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that Omnibus gets reprinted someday, but I'd actually, I'll get it someday. Wonder Woman by John Byrne. I've never really heard people talk about this run. I don't know anything about it. I would always say that I would not trust any of these page counts, even these prices, what they say they collect. All of these were like just added and they always get updated. And I would just say whenever there's a slight update, Dom of X will do a video and break it all down in the best detail possible.
If you want the most up to date of what it collects, go to comic book releases.
Yep. I'm just trying to own more Wonder Woman. I think I have one Wonder Woman omnibus and that's it. So I need to own more.
Yeah, I don't even know where this falls chronologically run wise. Like, is this before the Phil Jimenez stuff or?
Alex saying it's a day one buy.
I haven't read any. I mean, it's John Byrne, so I feel like it's a must, but I've not read any of this.
Okay. Has anyone read Batman by Tom King?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. The second I put this up for pre-order on OPB, I stopped what I was doing and placed my order so I could be the first person to pre-order their copy.
And then I beat you to it. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't even done it. I didn't know you put it up there yet.
Yeah. I think we have a little description of it. So again, don't take all this with a grain of salt. We don't know what it will change or what it won't. But as of right now, I'm glad they're collecting the Flash issues for the Button crossover. I'm going to guess that Nightwing stuff and Detective Comics stuff is Night of the Monster Men, which I would like them to do the crossovers for that. And we even get the Batman Elmer Fudd special #1, which might mean you don't need to pick up the deluxe edition of that coming out in a couple weeks.
I like when this money is saved.
Yeah. I mean, not like I'll say I'm going to buy both, but
Yeah.
And I'll ask the stupid question. What's up with the cover? I guess it's getting an original cover, and that's just stand-in.
Yeah. So I remember I never really thought it'd be this big of a deal, but Mr. Miracle's placeholder cover was drastically different than its actual release. Placeholder covers usually like when they're working on the cover, and they're doing something unique with it. I mean, you look at like even this week, how long did we have that placeholder cover of Green Arrow? And then the last second they updated it to a completely different cover. So everyone's saying worst cover ever. I would bet you, I don't know, a copy of Batman by Tom King Omnibus Volume 1 that this is not the actual cover.
Yeah, because we saw it with, like you said, Green Arrow, and then Green Lantern, Green Arrow, that changed. Mm-hmm. Death Metal, remember that? Was it the DM variant changed? Mm-hmm. So DC does it a lot.
Now, the real question is, did Tom King know when I showed him how many people wanted it and he just didn't say anything? Or did I make it happen?
I think he knew.
Yeah. You don't think I made it happen? You don't think this is my omnibus? You're right.
No, it's not.
We can say that.
It's Reddit's omnibus.
He probably thought it was the funniest thing that it was like a week away from the announcement and like he couldn't say anything. He even shared my video that I edited, the short, about like me showing him. Like maybe he didn't know. I don't think he knew he was the #1 most wanted collected edition. that was a genuine surprise to him, I think. But he knew the omnibus was coming, and he didn't say anything.
Yeah, I think it's a hint that when you ask him, I mean, he just starts looking down and is like,
Yeah,
wow, that's so humbling. So
yeah. This would have a lot of double dip with the Batman Tom King. It would because it's the same run. It's just different formats. Price tag also could be a placeholder. I know someone just got super upset on YouTube being like, that's 150 for 30 issues. Again, they just want people to start being able, they want to test the waters and see how many pre-orders come out before they make anything official, so but it is available for pre-order right now. And then this is one of people's most requested, right?
Yeah.
Why can't I pre-order it right now, Jake?
It's because I help my wife with the dishes.
I
will do it as soon as you know what? I'll do it while I'm just kidding. If you run the PowerPoint, I'll do it while we're on the stream. I thought I did do it, but I skipped this one on accident. I'll add it up.
Yeah, it's because you hate Jess. That's why.
Yeah. I hate Gail Simone. There, I'll say it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, there we go. Now he's canceled. Everyone.
I'm just trying to antagonize her because I feel like my following on Blue Sky would explode if I had Twitter beef or Blue Sky beef with Gail Simone.
No one wants to have Twitter beef with Gail. Gail's a national treasure.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this run, but I'll buy any Gail Simone omnibus that comes out after how much I loved Secret Six and how much I loved Wonder Woman.
This is my definitive Birds of Prey run. It begins and ends with her run.
Are you going to get this, or are you comfortable with your Birds of Prey collection?
I don't have any Birds of Prey, so I will be getting this.
So he's deeply insecure about his Birds of Prey.
Not comfortable. I need it.
And then The Spectre by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake.
I love that Spectre's getting all this love lately. This is the second omnibus for it, and a volume 1 of this too. So
again, as you can see, there's literally not even a description for this one. So all of these things are like super new. But I also like whenever I see an omnibus that's not 150,
I'm sure they'll do Chuck Dixon's run, Alex.
The Spectre only has what, 2 omnibuses, or is it 1?
I think just one so far, which is getting reprinted later this year.
Yep.
Because I want that one a lot. Has anyone read this, or Chris, have you read this?
Nope.
I saw Jess in a stream showing a picture of his phone with this on the cover of his phone. So I think he was talking about it.
So he won't be reviewing this, is what you're saying.
We got a little tinfoil hat on. All these Spectre now. Oh, that was a good joke, Chris. I didn't even. Yeah, because he only gets the books he doesn't like. All these Spectre announcements. I think Gunn is hinting at something. Dixon's Birds of Prey will be a compendium for sure.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Spectre fan. I mean, I think the only books I've ever read was like Hal's tenure as Spectre, and that's it. And I don't even know, who wrote that or where that was because that was so long ago. But that's the only Spectre I have under my belt. So probably skipping this.
And that's you got it. You can't get everything,
Nope.
Yeah.
And then this one, and I'd be stoked if this is the actual cover because that was one of my favorite arcs.
The volume 1 is just coming out in a month or two, so we might be getting both of these in a year.
So, yeah, I'm pumped. I thought this run was a lot of fun. It felt like a modern interpretation of the Justice League Unlimited cartoon that I loved. Like you had Hawk Girl and Jon Stewart on it, so it just felt like. Yeah, but Alex, you don't like anything.
He likes Cyclops.
He does. I'm stoked for this. I'm excited to get rid of my deluxe editions and move on with my life,
Yeah, I think I've championed this run for like such a long time. Like I thought this was so awesome. Nobody talked about it. And this storyline that you're referencing just specifically, I mean, has art by Jorge Jimenez and has probably the best Superman scene and panel. And
Is that the three
Oh,
generational scene?
yeah, and it's to the point I have that panel tattooed on my body. That is like,
Oh my! Can you send me that picture afterwards?
That's
If it's in an
awesome.
appropriate place. I want to see that.
it's on my thigh. I mean, it's right here, but
Look, you guys have seen more of my body in that group chat. So,
but yeah, so this is a must buy, and I tell a lot of people this is a must read as far as Justice League goes. I think this is such a phenomenal and slept on run. So good.
for the algorithm, can you make your review? I love this Justice League run so much I tattooed it on my body. I feel like that would get the clicks, bro.
Yeah, I
That's
go for it.
dedication.
And then the thumbnail picture will help you make it. It'll be you at a tattoo shop holding the omnibus and like you're looking all scared you're about to get a tattoo. I feel like we could pump those clicks, bro.
Yeah.
And at least with volume 1, we're finally getting that no justice collected in oversize.
Yeah,
and
that's good to hear.
They took out the Batman Who Laughs 1 through 7 in the first one, added it to this one. As you guys know, I bought like 7 copies of that book, so I'm excited to finally get rid of that one.
Jake sent me one of them.
Did I?
Yes, you did. I'm looking at it.
Dang, I've hooked you up, man. Looks like I am getting that Black Panther run. And then there we go. Batman. I don't think we're gonna carry this one. The only one I read was the Tom King and Mitch one, and I loved it. I haven't read any more of this Batman the Brave and the Bold run, but these were anthology series. And then Batman 66 Compendium, they just reprinted that omnibus. I've been waiting for Justice League 2 so long, I still have Death Metal sealed. That is commitment. Batman 66, a lot of fun, and I feel like it'll do well in the compendium format. Alex Segura, I got to do an interview of, and he loves to write people with colored fedoras.
I absolutely really like this series right now. It's a lot. I'm always a fan of the Question, but I'm a fan of Montoya as Question, and it's a cool new status for her and what she's doing in the Watchtower.
And then Batman Year 100.
Yeah.
What's going on with that cover?
That's Paul Pope.
That's his art?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
It is definitely not for everyone, but it's a reprint, as they said, 2025 edition of the this is a paperback, so I've got the deluxe version of this.
And recommended by Chris, or
it's not for everyone. As you see in the chat, not a lot of people.
Well, I mean, I feel like at least in the words of Taylor, at least we feel something from this art, you know. Some art is so perfect that you feel nothing. At least this is getting an emotional reaction.
Here's the thing. It's being reprinted. It's bringing it back at that point. So there's definitely been a demand at some point. But like we said, you don't have to buy it, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, the argument on that would be it's just Batman. They'll reprint, Batman sitting on a toilet if they have to.
Yeah.
I'd read an issue or two in digital format first before you venture down that.
That's fair.
And then Batgirl Stephanie Brown, written by Grant Morrison. That's dope. I don't have much to say about this one. Does anyone else?
Nope.
Green Lantern, we'll skip that. Again, I don't think we'll sell this. I might put this one. I'll put this one up, even though it's under what we typically sell. I've never read Year 3, but hey, it'll go good next to my other Year deluxe editions.
It is collected in, I believe, Cape Crusader Volume 2, which is out of print.
And Black Lightning, the standard. I don't know anything about this run. DC Finest Justice League, and then we're running to the end of time, so let's go quickly. This one's worth talking about, right?
Yes, it is.
This is the pre-crisis stuff, right?
Yes, first time ever any collection that this is ever. So this would come before Year 1 Finest. So I'm excited for this having this finally come out in any sort of collection. So definitely, if you've never read pre-crisis Batman in any kind of format, as it heads towards the modern age. Yeah, this is good stuff.
Are you going to pick this up? Because I know you weren't collecting Finest, but is this because it's never been collected? Does this tickle you?
I'll probably be tempted to pick it up.
And House of Mystery, the Bronze Age. I feel like horror is the one genre I'm okay with vintage or older comics for, because it just feels like I love the old Universal monster movies. I know Taylor.
What's Taylor flipping his lid on? Is it the
Paul
Batman
Pope
100?
rules. People don't like this run. Oh my gosh, people!
Is
He's already.
Is it the Paul Pope? Is it Batman 100? He's
I
referring.
think
to?
it's Paul Pope. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I like it. I own it. Don't let me.
And then I think this is the last noteworthy one. Scooby Apocalypse. I loved all the Warner Brothers.
Not on my bingo card. That was right.
I want all that stuff collected. How good was Flintstones? That one was awesome.
That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed a lot of the commentary in modern day equivalents they threw in there. That I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah. Not on my bingo card either, but I've never read this. I've only listened to Comic Storian's Hulu read of this, and it was phenomenal. I loved it. It's right up my alley, so I want to pick it up and actually read it in hand.
Nice.
And then lastly, Arkham Asylum, Living Hell. We got so many more. These are our last two. And we got to go because Jordan's here. Arkham Asylum, Living Hell. Smash or pass, Chris?
I've never read it, so I can't say one way or another, but it's Dan Slott, so it's from 2003.
Okay. Lastly, Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker and Harley Quinn, the Deluxe Edition. Smash or pass?
Smash, because I've got everything else in deluxe format from this run.
And
so
is this the last portion? So we should get an Omni next?
No, he's got World's Finest coming out.
Of course,
that's the conclusion. That's the conclusion of his trilogy.
Okay.
Or no, that would be not trilogy. It would be the fourth book in the series. So yeah, so that's at least supposedly his.
Everyone, where can they find? Oh yeah, what was our pick of the week? Yours was. I know we gotta hurry. What was your pick of the week?
Mine was Scrooge.
And what was your pick of the week, Illuminati, for the new releases?
I'm gonna do a curveball. Scooby Doo.
What was your pick of the week for the new releases that were? Yeah, for the new releases that are coming out next week.
For me?
Yeah, what was of the new releases coming out next week? Did you have a favorite? Was it Fatal Attractions?
I'll go with Fatal Attractions or Fantastic Four. Both of those.
Okay, mine of course is Born Again, and then lastly, pick of the new ones. Mine's obviously Tom King Batman. Do you guys have a pick of the new ones?
I would say, looking at my list of. I'll go with because it wasn't featured there, but I was kind of glad it was in your list. Superman Action Comics by Dan Jurgens.
Nice. I'll get to that one as well. I didn't have everything in my list. And then Tyler, your favorite one of the new announcements?
Justice League by Tinian, but I'm gonna go with Scooby Doo instead because I'm really pumped to finally read that.
Dude, I remember reading that. That was when I first started reading comics. It's so rad. Guys, where can they find you?
Luminardi _ on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm more active on YouTube, doing everything comic book material.
Awesome. And Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me on all the socials at Chris Balga, and you can catch me every Thursday, except for this week, but we did have an episode on Marvel Alliance, so you can find that at Geekverse Podcast YouTube channel every Thursday night, 9-10 Eastern Standard Time, or if you just want the audio version, just look up on any of your podcatchers of choice, Marvel Alliance.
And all of their things are linked in the description down below. And just a reminder, for all of these weekly releases and new ones, you can get them at Organic Price Books, which is also linked down below. We want to thank them for sponsoring this show. Everyone keep reading and stay That was a jam-packed hour and 30